Hey there, Crumbs here. And just like alarm bells are great to use, definitely recommended. Similarly, magma blocks are great fun to build with, also very much recommended. So yeah, let's get into it. I hadn't really thought about it initially, but just like this thing here's got all kinds of holes and even one section completely burnt out. I wasn't really thinking about it, but building with ice, you run some of the same issues. At least I assume that's what happened here. I guess it got struck by lightning, because I checked there weren't any light sources, even the redstone torch or nothing that should have melted these. So I assume what happened here is that it got struck by lightning. I'm not sure. So yeah, it's fun. This one on the left was initially made before I worked out the final design. I think in the world download I had on my last video showing a couple, especially Basalt generators, and one for the overworld can also be adapted as a Cobble generator. I think I still left the note blocks in, but these could just be solid blocks. But the initial hopper based clock I found was pretty close. It was something like 99% efficient compared to an actually completely properly timed clock, but but I figured I'd go ahead and fix it. And I got these two basic versions, like 24k an hour, built up, which is more than enough for my needs. I AFK'd for I think overnight once, and I ended up with more than a double chest of shulker boxes full of basalt. And when you turn them on or off, the relevant light will turn on or off as well. So you can see that from up there at the controls. To get the output from the dried kelp block system over here, just add a bunch of chests with some output, so that when there's anything in this chest, these lights will light up. And make sure you can see it from up there. And those will feed down the hopper minecart. It goes over the furnace system here. Down there, there's actually 3 hopper minecarts. And then the clock system that sets them off one after another after another. So that way there's always a couple going in order to keep up with the output rates of either the basalt or the cobble. I initially wanted to make it efficient, but because there's a little bit too much distance between where I wanted to set up the furnaces and the place the items are being collected, I ended up needing to add a few more. And once I figured out how to add a couple more hopper minecarts, then I just left it as is. So I could probably tighten this up a little bit, but it's a working version. As soon as I replace all the stuff that get messed up here, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. It's good enough. It works well, but it is inefficient in terms of fuel. I'm not doing anything too fancy with the collection. Yep, it just puts everything together into one water stream, or one, yep, stream here, and it goes down. There's no filters. This is a very simple setup. And they go down and get packed into shulkers. Initially I was having the issue that hopper minecarts going below it wouldn't pick up all the items because they would float. They'd like bob up and down in the water. Oh, I think I lost that. But yeah, the items would bob up and down in the water, so the minecart's hoppers weren't picking them up effectively. So that's why I had to add that in there, not just block off the flow of water here. I think for this, to make it look a lot better, I needed to just do a bit of terraforming, which I generally haven't done. So now at this side, the south side of this whole area, I do have wired up. This is the kelp block. There's the kelp farm. This is for the basalt. This is for the cobblestone. And this one is for switching whether it goes into the furnace to get smelted or just gets collected directly as the basic block is getting harvested. So this all seems fine and good. It was nice to be able to get a bit of basalt, but this introduced yet another problem. In addition to everything catching on fire, is that smooth basalt was not introduced till 117, which I didn't realize. I thought it was a cool texture, so I went and grabbed a couple shulkers of basalt and went to go smelt it. I got my furnace array kind of stuck for a bit because they just filled up because I couldn't actually smelt them in 116. I guess it was nice to have a final straw. Even more things ruining parts of my build from lightning. So updated 117, I already have a drowned form and my double witch up perimeter just over there. So I'm going to run that a bit, get some copper, and place down some stuff to place down some lightning rods finally. I didn't really have anything I needed to be in 117 for. I just didn't feel like updating. So I finally went through, checked some things. Seems like there's not really much importance changing. At least nothing that breaks. So yeah, I'm finally now playing in 117. And I'll probably be here for a while before I update to 118. Well, that was rough. Oh, nice. I guess it's going to be like that for a bit. So my main thought about updating to 118 and above after this version is that the drowned form in my new mega build perimeter is not going to, I'm building it way too close to the ground. So that is probably going to be the main thing I need to get a lot of, is just spend an absurd amount of time collecting an absurd amount of copper. So I can run it and basically forget about it when I update to the next version. And for my raid in here with the village farm, it's actually built up high enough. I don't think I'll need to do much to spawn proof within 128 blocks down of the player, because you're already so high. So the raid in here with the village farm I think will still actually work in 118 and above. And since I haven't built anything in the western half of my new mega build perimeter, what I'm thinking about doing is just sending some basic flying machines over to clear the water out, and then bombing that down. So I'll have just the western half of my new giant perimeter bombed all the way down to the new level of bedrock, and be able to put different farms in there. And yeah, we'll see what biomes, what vertical biomes, or whatever else I end up with. Maybe I have something interesting I can do in the western half of the perimeter. But obviously something like this, where I took the time to fill in the floor, yeah, I'm not gonna mess with this. It's gonna stay as it is, and I suppose I'll just lose this perimeter entirely. So I got plenty of resources from it, and there's nothing here that's completely irreplaceable. I still like the mob head farm, but yeah, it'll be all right. It's at this point I'm used to large enough projects that I'd be comfortable taking some things on. I might even come with a more improved version of all the redstone and the controls for the for the mob head farm. Actually use the lightning rods to make it automatic, so I can actually completely AFK, and anytime there's a thunderstorm, I'll be able to cycle through a whole bunch of mobs. Oh yeah, there you go. So yeah, smooth basalt is now a thing. So this is where I was messing around with the system to get all the items from the basalt or cobble farm into the furnace array. Let's turn it on. If 3 of them try stacking up together, then at least 2 of them will start popping around, and they'll get they'll self-power into flying around all over the place. But you can have 2 of them stack up together without it being a problem. Alright, so the last one comes down, they both sit there, and when you turn it back on, the fence gate opening will allow just one of them to go through. Yeah, so with the third, they just start. Oh, that's, well, there you go. Yeah. Good times. So, I guess sometimes it works, but if you only have 2 maximum stack up together, it seems to be reliable. So back here, on the other side of the spawn, I've extended this section out, So making more progress on the nether transportation system slowly over time. I just need to figure out some way to connect the system to some of the old areas, and especially to the nether portals. So I need to decide for which locations I want to move the nether portals down and just get rid of the old ones. But for something like this here at spawn, I'd like to leave this here. So it's a matter of finding out coming up with a good way to connect the system all the way up here. But yeah, I'm just here to turn off the mob switch. Oh, and get my first little bit of copper. Oh, there you go. Nice. Cool. So, here we are. Finally in 117. So this will be fine to get enough copper. I'll have to get plenty of copper to make all the all the lightning rods I could possibly need. But it's definitely not fast enough for the amount of copper I need for the central structure. Mega build perimeter, which I want to cover completely in a copper roof. So that'll be it for today. Finally up in another version. Got some lightning proofing to do. Got to get this thing fixed up. Actually get some smooth basalt. I don't really need stone. I'll check. I might be able to use a little bit of stone as well. I definitely don't need cobblestone right now. But yeah, got some stuff to fix, stuff to get going, and got a few ideas, plenty of stuff I'm still working on, and we'll see what I get up to the next episode. So hope y'all enjoyed, found something interesting, and y'all take care. Cheers.